Hey everyone, welcome to the GigRoots podcast, where we discuss grassroots economics in America. Each episode, we speak with the people who are working toward community transformation at the grassroots level. Let's go. I'm here with Miss Monika Matthews. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Not too bad. Juneteenth was interesting this year. What did you get to do?
So for Juneteenth, I absolutely went to a friend's house. We're still kind of in phase 1.5, 2 here. And so we had a small gathering and had some good soul food and fellowship. And it was pretty good. It was pretty good to just see people, I guess. Because I
Right.
hadn't seen people in
Just to
person
get
in a
out,
while.
to get out into the world and and see somebody else, see another
Right,
face.
right,
Mm-hmm.
right.
So, Monika, I've been told that you got a few different things going on. Kind of give me the rundown.
All right. So I am the founder and executive director of the Life Enrichment Group. That is a nonprofit organization that I started 16 years ago, really in response to the disproportionate amount of African American youth that were failing within Seattle Public Schools. And so that really started. With Young Queens of Seattle King County, our premier mentoring program, which is basically a personal development program for young ladies that brings kind of um, this holistic bringing holistic resources to young ladies of color. So we talk about self-love, we talk about academic achievement, personal development, and sisterhood are the pillars of that program. And so that program started really as a real grassroots effort. We wanted to really just provide girls with an additional layer of support, just really wrap a village around each young lady so that they could succeed academically. And really from that program, our 3 other programs sprung up, all around preparing our young people to be academically successful and to go off to college, to go into careers and start businesses based upon their gifts and talents and abilities and not necessarily a paycheck. So really just promoting young people really like searching for their purpose and then working in that field. So that's kind of like the background of just my life. Really, Life Enrichment Group is my life purpose, and from that, really, Queencare sprung out of that because we were charged with trying to find innovative ways to really support economic development amongst African American youth in Seattle about 5 years ago. And we figured, well, let's teach them how to make natural products. Let's teach them about the healing properties because we serve a lot of young people who have multiple challenges, right? So we wanted to make it relevant, whatever we were doing. And we said, well, let's make these products. They're all natural. We can teach them about lavender oil and, mango oil and just all of the natural goodies, right? That can facilitate their healing, but then also they can sell it and actually make money. And that's kind of the basis of Queencare, and it just grew from there.
When you say facilitate the healing process, what does that mean? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, so we serve a lot of youth who come from marginalized communities, a lot of youth who may not have a parent in the home, whose parent may be incarcerated, who go to rundown schools, things of that nature, kids who have experienced um, multiple trauma in their life, and so we realized that in order to really move a young person forward, help them move themselves forward, then there has to be a healing component somewhere in the programming so that we're not just putting these concepts of success and new life and all that on top of old beliefs or unhealed beliefs or unhealed wounds that will stop them from moving forward.
Most of the people I talk to that are involved in some form of trauma or dealing with trauma, we might call it trauma informed care, right? You hear that phrase being tossed around. I find most people involved in that have dealt with some trauma of their own.
Absolutely.
So I'm wondering if you'd be able to just talk about that for your own life a little bit.
Yeah, well, I mean, growing up, I was a very wayward teen. I was a teenage mother at the age of 15. I grew up in the Midwest, right outside of Chicago, and there wasn't a lot of resources available for young people to really be involved in anything positive. And so me, coming from a kind of turbulent household, with seeing my parents fight a lot and all of that, I kind of was like on my own. And I turned to the streets to really raise me. And that's where a lot of misinformation, came into my belief system. And I lived based off of those misbeliefs. And that caused me to really experience trauma after trauma after trauma after trauma. And I just really, probably maybe my mid 20s, I realized that I needed to change the trajectory of my life so that my son's life could be better. And that really is the turning point for my wayward, out of control life. Was really to just be somebody for someone else that I didn't have. So just to be a positive mentor or just a positive presence in someone's life. And that's really led me to just do some soul searching and just kind of like, well, what am I here to do? What am I supposed to accomplish? And then Life Enrichment Group was born. And yeah, that's pretty much how that went.
Yeah, what's been the general mood of kind of the community around you, whether it's the folks that you're interacting with at Queencare or through the Life Enrichment Group? What's kind of the mood of things right now?
Oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. It's several different moods that I've been managing, including my own.
Right,
But
right.
it's been quite interesting. Like from the Black community, the mood is enough. Simply, I mean, it's just enough. This is, all of the, racism and biases and, microaggressions and all of those things. We know that that's not anything new. That's something that we've been dealing with since we've been born, right? So we're like to a point where enough is enough. It's almost like we're just fed up with it and we want change now. Like we can talk about, proposals and all types of things that have, went forth to the city and different other entities that have sat on desks for years, without any, traction. But now we're seeing a little traction in those areas because of the climate. And so I think from the Black community, we're just, we want justice, we want fairness. But I just think that it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. And then on top of that, like the camel's dead. And so we just have nothing left. Enough is enough. And so I think that mood is really propelling us forward. It's very inspirational and it's really helping us to organize ourselves in a way to really promote, Black on Black love, Black Wall Street, all of those things that, we need to do for ourselves, because I don't think that we're looking for a savior to come and just kind of like magic poof all of our problems, but we do need certain things. We need resources, we need equity, land, property. And so I think that's just kind of the mood of the Black community. On the flip side of things, customers have been great. Like our sales have increased 1,000%. We have a large portion of our customers are white allies. And I think that a lot of them are really just now realizing the severity of the situation. So, that's kind of like two different perspectives. Sure. Like from us, we're like, we've been going through this enough. And from them, they're like, well, we're at a space where we want to listen and hear what's going on so that we can, step in and be an ally and help, like move things towards fairness. And so that's been pretty refreshing. I mean, to say the least. But there's also a lot of different other offshoots going on that in the community right now that is hard to keep up with, because there's so many different movements that are springing up that are related, and some aren't. And people are opportunists and using this opportunity to push their cause. And so it's just kind of like a mixture of things going on. But in general, I think that we're at a good place for change, to really move things forward.
Well, that's the opportunity, but you also are speaking about the challenge of that. There's a lot of noise in all the channels right now, right? There's a lot of unfocused energy, it kind of feels like, because you're right. There's all sorts of causes that can crop up to the surface, and some of them are interrelated. So how do you focus the conversation? What is that looking like in Seattle, where you are?
Well, I'm not a representative for the Black community for all of Seattle. I can only really speak to, my realm, and I am interconnected with the community. I do want to make that clear. But I feel like in these times, we've been doing the work. Like when I'm talking about like Black Seattle, like we've been doing this work, pulling ourselves up by the bootstraps for a very long time. And so we're just still on our same trajectory. It's just speeded up a little bit on the resource end of things, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
We're staying focused on like creating, businesses and, making sure that we're sustainable and still serving youth, still serving elders, still serving the vulnerable populations in whatever lanes that we were already in. For Queencare, for example, like we're an incubator for youth businesses. We've had about 4 or 5 young people start their businesses during these last 2 or 3 months, and many more before that. And so it's like I'm already in the middle of this work of just empowering us so that we can be better, so that our future can be secure. Right. And so I think that a lot of organizations are doing the same, and just really we're just pressing, the pedal to the metal on entities that can help fund us at this point. Yes, there is a lot of noise going on around, and it's very easy to get distracted, but I don't think that we are really listening to a lot of that noise, because you can't get caught up in the noise, else you will get off of your, mission. So I could see if this was like, if we were just scrambling to start something, or, trying to figure out which way to go, like we're very clear about our direction and what we need, so we're all just working in our, respective, lanes.
I've heard you sort of put forth the idea that you're starting to get a lot more attention from certain folks now that all of this has sort of risen to the surface. So is there a pressure that comes along with that now that you have their attention? It's like, here's what I want you to know that's most urgent.
I think that it's been tons of pressure. Over the last few months in general, to be honest, just like COVID, and then, the murder of George Floyd, like those two like pandemics together, the pandemic of, COVID and the pandemic of racism, that creates a pressure pot that is just just unbelievable. So the pressure is absolutely there. And that's something that like I've been really focused on during this time, like self-care, those things that keep you grounded. Like that's what Queencare is all about. Our tagline is indulge, engage, uplift. So, indulge in self-care practices, use our products to help you, relax, and all of those things, even when there's chaos going all around. Engage with each other. We don't just walk by somebody on the sidewalk cannot speak. Like our store, when the storefront was open, like we, prided ourselves on like having real conversations with our customers and building relationships. And that we do that to uplift our community and our causes. And so, the pressure is real, absolutely. But I do feel like along with the pressure, like everyone is aware of the climate that we're in right now. It's stressful, like, for everyone, even the kids that are having to go to school on Zoom every day, right? And so I think that there's been a lot of patience around just like how we're dealing with each other. I haven't seen it be, so demanding as far as needing to explain ourselves or explain our cause. It's pretty much self-explanatory what's going on if you just turn on the news for a couple of hours, So I think the real pressure really is about like dealing with 1,000% increase in sales. Like, when you've been closed, for 3 months and now you're like, boom, on. So, I think that pressure also, can be a good thing, right? Because it can help you move.
So what are these tools in your toolkit that you are offering folks to help promote self-care and healing?
Yeah, so Queencare, so we do offer all natural products that help facilitate the self-care process, right? So we have, we absolutely promote like taking bubble baths and just taking time out for yourself. We've been hosting in-home spa parties via Zoom while in this climate we would normally offer it in person, right? So I think that just using certain products can help calm you too, like our lavender oil. Like lavender has properties known for calming you, helping you to sleep, helping you to regulate your nervous system. And so we have oils, we have sugar scrubs, we have bubble baths, we have candles, we have everything really to set the mood in your own environment to help facilitate like calming things down and just really, facilitating care for yourself. But,
that sounded real relaxing to me right now.
Yeah. We provide the products, but we can't make a person do it. That's why the whole education piece around self-care, we try to promote like at all times, because it's almost like relearning and learning how to take proper care of yourself, because not many of us really grew up learning how to do that. We always put other people first before us, and we'll run ourselves down before taking taking care of others before taking care of ourselves. And we really want to change that paradigm to like, self-care is not selfish.
What are you going to be working on over the next couple of months as businesses are reopening, as things are sort of returning to kind of a new, different set of circumstances? What are you working on? What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, well, our new normal is absolutely online sales, which was one of our goals prior to COVID, was to really be online, and so we had this whole strategy like, okay, this is how we're going to increase our web presence. And then COVID happened and that whole process went out the window. We were online and it was going well. So I'm really excited about that. Like we definitely are under a new normal, like with our storefront, preparing it so that, we have the proper safety measures in place for customers and for, ourselves, my employees, making sure, that everyone is safe. But I'm really excited about, the online piece, and just really, we were able to connect with so many people globally, like that we couldn't just connect with being here in Seattle, Columbia City, having a storefront. So I think moving forward, operating both is going to be pretty cool. Like when we shut down our store, like we turned our whole storefront into a warehouse, like a manufacturing hub. We had that many orders coming through online that we had to like adjust, and I think that is a really good thing, and I'm excited about.
Like, hopefully a sign of things to come, right?
Absolutely.
So that's great. So just tell everybody, how can we find you? How can we find some of these wonderful products?
Yes, you can visit us online at www.queencareproducts.com. We're also on Instagram under Queencare Products 1 and on Facebook under Queencare. We're very responsive. Every Wednesday we have a live Wealthy Wednesday session because we're thinking about wealth. We're not just thinking about like money in the bank. We're thinking about, your health and wealth, mind, body, and soul. And so we have different sessions every Wednesday that we interact with our customers with, and we're just here and ready to just help facilitate people really taking care of themselves.
Well, Monika, everything that you're doing as a leader in the local community, everything that you're putting forth in order to help promote healing to all those who need it, I just want to say thank you to the work that you guys are doing. Stay blessed and stay healthy, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the podcast. Head on over to grassrootsgig.com where you can check out more interviews, read the latest blogs, and join a community of grassroots changemakers. Be sure to follow us on social media and subscribe to our channel to keep up with the latest. We'll see you next time.